Hey guys, Omid here from Mobility Engineering. We have another how-to video for you guys, and the solution we're going to be covering is the Chariot Mobility Trailer. So as you can see here beside me, we have the Chariot in its stowed position, or parked position, right? So when you don't have a device on it. But then we're going to go through the sequence of how to operate it. You know, use the platform, load the device, and then the driving part, that's up to you to do. All right. So some fun facts about the Chariot. It is a trailer that is designed to connect to the vehicle's tow bar, where you have a solid connection, meaning you've given that extension to your vehicle. Now the wheels, they're like caster wheels, so they'll rotate 360, so wherever the car goes, the trailer will follow, so you'll never jackknife. So that's quite important for someone that is, got a bit of a mobility limitation, or maybe transporting some sort of a device, may also not be that confident driving behind the wheel and also driving a trailer. But with the Chariot, it makes that easier. And it connects up standard with your power cables and your safety chains. But being that it's got a solid connection, it does need a square tube receiver. So most cars have that square tube receiver, or they have a flat tongue, which cameraman will put a bit of a photo there what a flat tongue looks like, which we have an adapter for. But then if it's a J hook or a gooseneck style tow bar, unfortunately those vehicles do not work. So it's just those two types of two types of tow bars, the square tube and the flat tongue, can be adapted to suit with the Chariot. Now the Chariot does have 159 kg capacity, so making sure that power chair or mobility device does fit within those limits, and also a certain width and platform length as well. Forget the boring facts, let's go on to the fun stuff, which is actually using the system. So there's a key operated part here, which is a bit of a safety thing, so you don't accidentally have someone else come and steal your device. So lift up the safety lock, put the key simply in this position here, right? And you turn it on, but however, before you lower it down, it's always good to get the platform ready. So up here, we've got it locked. So we just simply unlock it, take the hook off. Now, depending on your capacity, you may be able to two hands, walk it back and lower down. There is a gas strut here that does help when doing the reverse with lifting it up. So for me, I'm barely sort of using any strength. I'm pushing kind of more with my fingertips, as you can see there, and then the weight does the rest. But you do want to guide it. You don't want to just let it go like that and continually kind of potentially damage it. You may be able to do one-hand operation, so you lower the platform down like that. Because the thing is, as I mentioned just then, one-hand operation, the Chariot is designed for someone that does have poor mobility and balance. So potentially you have one hand, holding onto something, where then the other hand is doing the other operation, all right? So now that we've got the remote on, the platform down, we lower it down. So we press down. Now you see there was a bit of shift in weight. So what gives the suspension to the Chariot is these four linkages. So depending on the terrain, the speed bumps, so often there may be some slight movement like that when you're shifting the weight from the front to the back. So don't be alarmed, don't be scared. That's just a shift in that weight, right? Another thing, you can see here I've paused and stopped the platform, and there's a bit of a gap here, right? So you want to be present in the moment. So depending on the flat surface or gravel terrain that you're doing your stowing and unloading on, you need to watch and make sure once the platform is flat, there may be a slight allowance to be raised, you stop. Because the system is designed for different weights and allows for a bit of sag. So when there is weight on it, it may lower down quicker than if their weight wasn't, right? So once it's stopped, touched, you stop. Because the thing is, if you continue to press down, it's going to then want to put the pressure back onto the car, and you'll see the wheels will start to raise. We don't want that. We just want it flat. Once it's flat or close to, we stop. Because the thing is, your device has wheels which can go over that little bit of a bump. All right, so the platform has certain widths and lengths where your device just simply drives on, or you guide your device on. So when I do my magic clicks, right, cameraman is going to bring together a power chair with a backrest folded that's under that 159 kilogram capacity. Well, so now we've got the mobility device on the platform, and we've got the mobility device on the platform in its stowed position. So the backrest is folded down. Every device is going to be slightly different, so depending on what you have and what you're transporting. And as you can see, the platform has been adjusted so the front and rear wheels are within the divots of the platform. However, you know, these can be adjusted to suit your mobility device. So what we do is we come to the control unit up here, and as I mentioned before, this is designed to be operated by one hand, or someone with poor balance and mobility. So what we'll be doing is, you know, we can be resting against the vehicle like this and operating the remote, and you'll see that I haven't secured my mobility device. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise it up, and at a nice height, that's where we'll then secure it. So simply raise. Now what I tell people and why I've stopped and not done the full operation is you need to be present in the moment when you're operating this device. On the left and right hand side there are these rubber bump stops, and once this metal bar kisses and just touches that bump stop, you stop. Because if you keep trying to press up, it's going to want to jam itself, and the reason why you have to be present is when there's different weighted device, that could create a little bit of a sag, so it's not going to always lift up at the same position pending the weight on the platform. So we just simply raise up, it's in location, we stop, right? Now for some people, you can simply put the safety lock and take the key out. However, you know, where the securement strap is positioned, you may want that cover off. Your mobility device may already have 4 tie-down points, or these have to be retrofitted to suit the car. This power chair does have 4 points. Now, typically not in the ideal location, so whether we adjust the positioning of the retractor to suit, that may be the preferred method with a chair like this, or we can always put some aftermarket stuff on the chair as well, right? But we'll show here, so simple operation, secure on, and then lock in place. So secure on, and as I said before, one hand operation, right? One hand to lock and then tighten. So you see, I'm not really having to bend down and do anything. Everything's at this kind of hip level height depending on how tall you are. Now with these retractors, it's important, which cameraman will get some B-rolls. There's 3 different positions. You have the up position where when you put your finger through the middle there and you release it, it allows it to be free moving. Then you have the middle position where you're tensioning, and then you position in the bottom to be locked. And it's important when you're traveling with your device on that this is in that locked position, because if it's not and you've got the bumps of the road, potentially you could loosen this. That may not be nice for you or the person behind you. So make sure you're securing it on properly, all right? And yeah, when it's fully secured, you put the lock on, take the key out, and away you go, right? Now, what is optional and you may require is a vinyl cover. So, you know, some days we have glorious sunny weather, and other days we have torrential rains and storms. And also, if you're some of my friends that are in the regional areas, the roads may have a bit of dirt and grime and dust, and also bugs. So having that vinyl cover protects your device from the elements. So, you know, depending on the width and size and stuff, you know, that can just be put it on. But, you know, more point from that, this is a great solution that can take a power chair up to 159 kilos, right? Because you can see here, my assessment vehicle is a little Kia Cerato, so it's not that big. So fitting this device in the back of that car is going to be a challenge, because you're going to have to take it apart in probably about 50 odd pieces. Now I know I don't want to do that, right? Whereas I can just simply fold down the backrest, load it up on the Chariot, and away we go, right? But for more information, follow our channel. You can also reach out, mobilityengineering.com.au. Happy to give you a chat and see if this could be a solution that best meets your needs. Catch you on the next one.